Good to see you, Professor Moghalu. You're welcome to Ifeoma Speaks.
Thank you, Ifeoma. Yeah.
The name Kingsley Moghalu is fast becoming currency in Nigeria. I suspect it's not because you were deputy governor at the CBN. Could you please share some more reasons for this viability?
Well, I mean, that's partly out of my national service as deputy governor of the central bank. But of course, more recently, I've offered myself for election as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come February 2019. And I've set out a vision for Nigerians and the Nigerian people that I believe is very different, is very new, is very bold. And more Nigerians are buying into this vision and identifying with it. And that's why you may be hearing a certain buzz, because people are coming to see and to hear and to experience something that's quite different from what they are used to from the career politicians. The difference is that I'm interacting directly with the people. I'm listening to the people. I'm talking to them directly, telling them not just why things must change, but how they will change and how that change will happen when I become president in 2019.
Interesting. Why the crossover from the financial to the political space?
Well, my life has been quite a number of crossovers, actually. My main career was in the United Nations. I spent 17 years working for the United Nations. I started as an entry-level officer and worked my way up to the highest career rank of director in the World Organization. I served in Cambodia. I served in New York headquarters. I served in Croatia. I served in Tanzania, and I served in Switzerland. And I was engaged mainly in nation building, fixing broken societies, risk management and management reform in the UN. And, at some point I felt I needed to move into the private sector, and I resigned from the UN at the end of 2008 and set up a consulting firm in Switzerland, advising global corporations trying to invest in emerging markets, advising them on global strategy, advising them on risk management. And that's what I was doing when, as you know, the global financial crisis happened around this time. And I was invited by the president at the time, President Umaru Yar'Adua, and the governor of the CBN at the time, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, to come back home to Nigeria to become deputy governor of the central bank. So I came into the world of finance via the route of risk management and development finance. And that's how I came into finance in the central bank as deputy governor in 2009. And I spent 5 years. It was a 5-year tenure at the bank. And after that, I was appointed a professor of the practice of international business and economic policy at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University in Massachusetts, USA. The Fletcher School is one of the world's most respected schools of international affairs, and so it was quite an honor to be appointed to the faculty at the Fletcher School. So, and now, after teaching at the Fletcher School for a couple of years, I said to myself, why am I spending my time building other societies, building leaders who will lead other countries? I decided to come back home, and I became very dissatisfied with the narrative of poverty in this country. And I said to myself, you know what? My personal success is not the issue. If every other person around you is poor and looking for a hand out instead of a hand up, then it means that our political leadership class has failed. And therefore, I came to the conclusion that Nigeria needs a radically different type of leadership, a leadership that understands how to achieve economic transformation and take Nigeria from poverty to prosperity. And I think we can see that my background enables me to do that. We also have a society that is broken. We're disunited and divided. Nigeria is a country. It's not yet a nation. It needs to become a nation. As somebody who has been a nation builder for many years in various countries of the world, I feel I'd like to give that to my own country, to heal Nigeria and build a nation, to take Nigeria from poverty and unemployment to prosperity and job creation. That's the task before us. We need a very different mindset to be able to do this. Our political class have failed. They just don't have what it needs, what is required.
There's always a difference when you listen to a professor. Okay.
Especially a professor of practice who has done it.
Okay. From the moment you become president, well, first, your party is a flag bearer. What significant contributions would you make?
Well, you know, coming out on the platform, I've declared for the Young Progressive Party, the YPP. The YPP is one of the new parties, was registered in June 2017. The YPP is focused on service to the people. That is the slogan of the YPP. We are focused on accountability. We're focused on service. We're focused on the real essence of leadership. And the YPP is present in all the 36 states of Nigeria today. Our structures are far, wide, and deep. And it is a grassroots-focused party. The social media is important, but the YPP has not spent all its time on social media. It's been interacting with real people. And that represents the kind of politics I'm interested in. The politics of real people, the politics of engaging with the grassroots. And that's what I've been doing. I've gone around this country, still going around, on town halls where I meet and interact with, you know, ordinary Nigerians across the length and breadth of this country. We have an organization called the Kingsley Moghalu Support Organization, KIMSO, which is also a ground army, our ground game. We're setting it up in 36 states of the Federation. So now when I become president, there are three things that will happen, because I have a vision that is like a tripod, like the tripod of your camera. Number one, to heal Nigeria and build a nation. Number two, to wage a decisive war against poverty and unemployment. Number three, to restore Nigeria's place in the world. These are the three things you will see over 4 years of my presidency, because my life has prepared me to address these critical challenges Nigeria faces. It's not, you know, I'm not running for president because I have an ambition. I'm running for president because I have a vision. So I am a man with a vision on a mission for our people. And I am prepared. I'm the best prepared candidate of anybody standing today saying they want to be president, based on my track record, based on what I've achieved, based on what I've done to improve the lives of people around the world and in Nigeria particularly. As Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, we reformed the financial system of Nigeria in a way that impacted directly on the lives of Nigerians. The banks are stable. It's because of the work we did. They could have failed, and all your deposits would have been lost, like happened in the 1990s. You know, we masterminded a lot of reforms in, payment systems. Your POS today that you use for payments, your bank verification numbers, your ATMs, all these things are things we did at the central bank. We've made our payment system so much more better and so much more modern because of the work we did. These are practical contributions that we have made. We brought inflation down to 8% by the time I left the central bank in 2014. So there's a track record. In the UN, the same thing. I helped bring peace in Cambodia, in Croatia, in Rwanda. You know, I was a political officer on the Rwanda desk in 1994 at the UN headquarters in New York during the genocide. And I know what we did to be able to bring that country back together. So one has the kinds of experience that you don't, that is very necessary for Nigeria, and yet so rare.
Thank you. I don't know if you have anything else to tell Nigerians.
Well, I'll tell Nigerians this. Don't make the mistake of telling yourself that a new order cannot be brought about in Nigeria. Don't even begin to think that it cannot be done. Believe and understand it is possible. Don't be one of those people saying, oh, well, he would make a very good president, but will they let him? Who is they? They is you and me. If you get your permanent voter's card and go and vote, that's it. Voila, we make it happen. Between you and me, all of us working together can make this happen. You know, the career politicians, they are a very, very cynical group of people. When you doubt, when you surrender yourself to the system, they have you where they want you. They want you to believe that there is no alternative to them, so that they continue to come back every 4 years and chop your money and steal from the treasury and deliver nothing to Nigeria's citizens. You've seen the report. Nigeria is now the poverty capital of the world. We have the highest numbers of poor people of any country, extremely poor people. 87 million people in extreme poverty. We've overtaken India, which has 7 times our population. India is about 1.3 billion people. We're just 200 million. And we have more extremely poor people than India. If that is not an indictment of Nigeria's career politicians and the governments of the day, I don't know what is. How anybody could be talking of bringing such a group of people back to office befuddles my mind. Because it means maybe you have suspended rational logic. We need people who can actually solve the practical problems of poverty, unemployment. 9 million people have lost their jobs in the last 3 years. That's bigger than the population of Switzerland. So it's time we got a younger, modern, intellectual, professional leader who can actually take Nigeria into the 21st century, who can manage Nigeria's economy for progress and for prosperity. That's what I stand for. I don't stand for the past. I stand for the future of our youth and our young children.
Nice. We have been listening to and watching Professor Kingsley Moghalu, and it's been quite insightful and refreshing. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.